still running a tiny chain. Let's look at this cut. Now from here, I think you can see the ridging. This is an aggressive chain, and these are ridges in the wood. And let's look at the chain. I wouldn't want anybody to think I'm trying to pull one over. That's that little bitty tiny cutter chain. This is white oak wood. Let me get a hammer, an axe pole. We're going to beat on it a little bit. That's hard oak. That's red oak. Here's my pinky nail again for reference. This is a wore out chain, and I think we've made our point. So don't think you have to have a new chain or big teeth to cross cut or rip, and you can throw chips. toppled over. That kind of ends the second cut, but to show you guys that there's no trickery or tomfoolery going on. There's our little bitty tiny cutters. There's my pinky nail. Little bitty tiny cutters, and you guys saw at the start there what chips we were throwing. There's that old junky Farmer Tech 660 with no compression. Wink wink. So here's our cut. It's beautiful, and I am a little partial, but it really does look nice. And this is wet. I still got moisture in it, and these are the logs from the Power Lines videos, the Power Lines series. There's a playlist there. So, and I pretty much posted those videos when they were done. Now right here, we've got an edge, and I'll knock that off with an axe. It's a 20-inch bar. It won't hardly reach through that. So, I have a 24 that's drilled for this mini mill as well. We drilled a Forester and a Sandvik bar. So this is a bolt-on, and I've got it drilled doubly where it can be flipped. And as to my board, it's marked and drilled in increments. You see a door hinge right here. I have a 10-foot extension. I can cut 26 foot. That's a 16. And I have an Alaskan also, but I don't use the Alaskan for the initial flat. Or if I'm cutting dimensional lumber, I won't use it. So anyway, let's go on down here. You noticed a time or two where I stopped and went back. I had missed, and when that happens, a lot of times you'll have a ridge right there. So that's a flaw in the cut. Here you can see the bar tip, the swirl marks. Right here you can see the side plate biting in. So that I may have stayed in one place too long right there. So you got to keep moving. All the way down, and we get thinner or less thickness of a cut here. I've got pretty big hands. We're spanning about 10 inches right there, I guess, and all the way out the end. As to our chips, let's pick up some of this stuff right here. So it's a mixture. I use cereal terminology, so we see some corn flakes. We also see a lot of grape nuts. Now this is grainy stuff here, so this is not dust like you would think, float in the air, dust. It's like grape nut cereal is the texture. And depending on the angle of the bar, you'll throw a different kind of chip. Now here's our offcut. Most of the time I just turn these into firewood. Most of the time, but there's some good thickness there. I think that's pretty much what I wanted to show you. Well, and the end boards, let me show you those. My end boards are drilled in increments, and I use a T25 head screw. It's a self-drilling screw. It goes into this oak very well, and use them again and again and again, and just line my board up on that. I got one at each end. Sometimes if the log's flat enough, you don't have to have that, but that's what we're doing. Yeah, I wanted to do a little clip on the Husqvarna and roughneck wedges. I had made mention of that in another video. So I've been running roughnecks for several years. These are not a hard head, there's no insert, but they're good wedges. That's a 10-inch, this is an 8. You see, I've cut this one up pretty good. But I got to reading about the company. It's a USA company, Roughneck. It's the only product that I own of theirs. So, out of necessity, I needed more. I've got probably 6 of these. And I needed another one. And these are sold at Northern Tool. Online, also on Amazon. So I was at a Big R farm store, and they had the Husqvarna similarly priced. Well, anyway, I got online, and these are made in USA for Husqvarna. And if you look at these dimensions, and I have measured them, imagine 2 bears measuring something. But I measured these, and this box is exact. The dimensions are exact. The wood grain is exact. The only exception is the name, Roughneck and Husqvarna. What could we assume from this? And I'll just leave that alone. I'll leave it at that. But both of these are very good products. It's probably the same compound, if I was guessing, just a different color. Very good products. So this is the Power Lines trees that we're looking at. We're going to look at the baby C results. While we're doing that, we're doing a country boy compression. When I get back up here, I'm going to test it against the 562 and do it in short form. So just follow me along here. We do get a shot at this chain. This is the baby C chain that we did all this milling with that I've been talking about. Baby C. Alright, we better go. We fixed the storm. I thought I wrote the dimensions on these logs. I did it right down here. So I did all this with the baby C chain. Stand down here at the end of the log, you can see the straightness of it. So 10'4" long, 8.5 inches wide times 3. All those cuts done with the baby C. Here's our next one. 7 feet 11 long, 8.5 wide, and look down it like you're looking down an arrow. Look down your log through the viewfinder like you're looking at an arrow. Times 3. And I fell all these logs with this chainsaw, this 361, built on the channel, fully documented. All of them fail with this saw right here in the mower. And I also have milled with this saw. This is not a new build. So this one is 7 foot 2 inches and 3/4 long by 7 1/4 wide. 3 sides milled with the baby C. It's still holding. It's going to turn over before we get back up there. I can hear it. I can hear it bleeding down. This one is 8.5 feet long. No, it's 8 feet and 3/8 of an inch by 6 3/8 wide, times 3. Look down it there. Okay. This one, get this from the other end. This is the one, we did all this in one day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rips within about a 4-hour period between sharpening and refueling and whatnot. 8.2 inches by 6 3/8 times 3 with the baby C. And this is red oak. Red oak. This one, 7 feet 8 inches. Hear that thunder? 5.5 wide. And we got a chevron pattern here. Yeah, we have to move the board to cut the pith out of the log. Here's our offcuts. This one is 7 feet 11 inches long. There's our 8-foot marker. 5 1/16, 5 1/8 wide. Good pretty wood, times 3. Get down in here. I was pulling on it pretty hard. When you pull on it, you get ridges in the mill. That is in the cut. It's like a chevron pattern. We were getting with it, in my estimation. 8 feet and a half inch long. by 6 1/4 wide times 3. That is 3 cuts on that one. Now this one, I did 2 12-foot 5 3/4 rips simultaneously without stopping, without refueling, without sharpening. 12 feet 5 3/4 inches with the baby seed by 6 1/4. Stand down here and film down that log all the way down to the end. Okay, right here we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plunge cuts all the way to the mill, which is about 17 inches, maybe 17 inches deep. And we're going to head back up here to the back of the truck and do our hillbilly compression test, 561 versus, not the 561, but the 361 versus the 562. We see sun here at my back. It's thundering back over in here. So we got red oak beams and firewood nearly as far as the eye can see. Thank you for watching.